Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Is Black Clover good? Is it underrated, or does it deserve the low amount of success it has had? It's been a while since I last read Black Clover. Since then, I've become a better analyst, and I want to see how the manga holds up. I liked it a lot when I stopped after the elf reincarnation, and even thought it was better than Hero Academia. Since I'm revisiting that as well, I thought revisiting this would make for an interesting comparison. I will make comparisons when they're due, and right off the bat, this manga starts like Naruto. A narrated summary of a past event when a leader took down a giant monster. Here is the Wizard King instead of the Hokage. Asta's introduction is horrible. He shouts his goal, asks a nun to marry him, and keeps asking until he gets punched. There's zero charm here. What's worse is that the scene is supposed to be funny, and it isn't. This man is so annoying in this scene. Yuno outdoes him in almost everything, and is his blue Oni to his red Oni. Also, Asta has no magic. The classes of peasants and royalty are established. Asta training is the first time he's somewhat likable. At the ceremony, Asta doesn't get grimoire, while Yuno gets a great one. Yuno also says that he'll be the Wizard King, which is the same goal as Asta's. This is the only battle rivalry I remember where both characters have the same goal. Yuno is a jerk for some reason, but this will be explained later. Yuno gets attacked, Asta tries to save him, but fails. Then the story imitates Naruto again. When the villain is trash-talking the hero, the person who seemed to dislike the hero starts praising him, and he gets a boost in power. We get a flashback of Asta saving Yuno, and Yuno calls him his rival. Apparently, when Yuno said there's no way, he meant that there was no way Asta couldn't have been chosen. Asta gets his grimoire, and the little narration is clean. It defines the meaning of 3 clovers, says 4 is luck, and that 5 is the devil. I like how Tabata added onto a real superstition. With knowledge of future events, the foreshadowing is actually insane. They literally tell us there's a devil within Asta or his grimoire, but that devil doesn't show up until after the time skip. Clever. Asta beats the villain with his anti-magic sword, and the two are friends again. The first chapter was underwhelming, especially in comparison to Naruto or Hero, the two most similar manga. In Hero, Deku was written as someone you could feel bad for since he was bullied and quirkless. Asta is just annoying with all of his screaming and unfunny bits. He could have been made admirable by being positive despite his drawbacks, but he was just too obnoxious in this chapter. The art and directing just didn't hit as hard as Hero or Naruto. There was a theme. The villain said give up. Asta said he'd never give up. Then he won by not giving up. His muscles that were gained by not giving up in the past helped him win here. Never give up is the theme. That's a decent theme. There's also a flashback that fleshes out the two heroes. Chapter 2. The entrance exam is about to happen, just like in Hunter and Hero. The 9 squads are introduced, which is like the GOAT Day 13. The comedy remains trash. Yami, Finral, and Gordon show up to rep the Black Bulls. The Black Bulls are set up as outcasts, and Golden Dawn is set up as the best. Guess who's gonna join which squad? The parts of the exam are skipped over, but Asta does poorly. I like that the exam is skimmed over because it allows the plot to get to the meat of the story faster. I like that better compared to Hero or even Hunter. To be fair, Hero technically only had 1 chapter for the exam, Chapter 3, but Chapter 2 was all about training for the exam, and then Chapter 4 was the plot twist of Deku getting in. Black Clover wraps up the exam in 1.5 chapters. By the end of 3, Asta's already in his squad. And then there's Hunter x Hunter. That exam was so long, but at least the characters could die during it, which meant that it wasn't a safe zone and allowed higher stakes to be present. Overall, Hero and Black Clover speeding through an entrance exam is a good concept. Both of these were also done when there weren't that many main characters, which is smart. Saiki has a subplot of hating peasants and is pitted against Asta in combat. Asta one-shots him. Yuno also one-shots his opponent in Chapter 3. Everyone wants Yuno and he joins Dawn. No one wants Asta, but Yami steps up. He tests him and Asta passes, allowing him to join the Bulls. I like this moment, but the directing doesn't have the same exciting, fist-pumping quality like Hero. Saiki tries to attack Asta, but Yuno stops him. Asta goes to the Bulls and it's like Fairy Tail's Guild, pure chaos. I like how Asta and Yuno join squads that fit their motifs. This chapter was fine, but there was no theme here or in 2. The mini arc is finished, so I'd expect at least one theme. The entrance exam was not as good as Hero's. The directing, themes, and pathos were just not on par. That doesn't mean this is bad though. Chapter 4. I love Yami's personality. It's very distinct and entertaining. His design is great too. I love Magna too. His design and personality are cool as well. I just think his hair should have been orange or red. Why would you give a fire user gray hair? Magna gives Asta an initiation for his robe, which is like a Naruto headband. The art when he throws the ball is nice. The narration strikes once again when Asta swings his sword like a bat. That's JoJo level narration. A lot of the side characters have their main character traits effectively shown off in this chapter. Characters like Vanessa, Magna, Charmy, Luck, and Noelle at the end. This was a good chapter, still no theme though. In Chapter 5, Noelle is a snobby royal who hates Asta. This gives her room for a character arc. I like her design too. That's one thing this story has over Hero so far, character designs. Tabata is really good at drawing hands too. But why would a royal be in this outcast squad? Her missed magic attack is a hint. Soon, we learn that she can't aim or control her magic. There's even a brief flashback of her family dissing her. This makes her a sympathetic character. She uses a spell and almost drowns herself, and Asta saves her with help from the squad. Asta and Magna make her feel welcome, and she reduces her walls. Character arc complete. I like these episodic stories. It allows the team members to be developed without worrying about the overarching plot. Naruto had a similar start. If I'm keeping it 100, BC did these quick chapters better than Naruto. Way better. Naruto chapter 2 and 3 focused on goofy nonsense that would never be repeated again. That type of tone disappears in chapter 4. But BC chapter 4 and 5 did these episodic chapters while having a story that fit the setting and tone. It was all magic and action based. Compare teaching sexy jutsu and trying to kiss a girl to defending against a fireball and cutting a water prison. But Naruto won with the themes. Chapter 2 and 3 had themes. BC 4 and 5 did not. In chapter 6, the text boxes summarize each of the characters and their descriptions are exactly as they were shown before. Asa's first mission being a disappointing animal hunt is like Naruto, and then they have to go to a place covered in mist. Sounds like the land of waves. They see a guy dropping icicles on civilians and Magna goes to work. That 2-page spread was clean. Icicles reminds me of Haku. I like how the inciting incident in this mini arc happens in the first chapter. That's good pacing. The fight starts and continues in chapter 7. We get a map and some world building about classes. Asta wants to get rid of the prejudice, and a nice flashback establishes this. Asta is very likable when he's standing on his values, but in the downtime, he's just annoying. Deku had a similar problem. He was only charismatic in intense scenes. Noelle gets a hype subplot. Asta and Magna are working, but she can't aim her attacks, so she's told to retreat. She starts having an inner monologue about quitting, but then the little girl asks her for help. There's a narration as she powers up, and she uses a powerful spell to protect everyone. It's the same one that almost drowned her. That's great writing. The art wasn't on Hero's level, but the writing was. That's another character arc, from doubt to confidence. The narration also establishes that heightened emotions can trigger new spells. This is BC's way of acknowledging the trope. Asta strikes the enemy when he's distracted. This is probably the best chapter so far. This isn't said yet, but the hoods looked familiar, and I was right. These guys are with the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and they are the primary antagonists all the way until the elf reincarnation. I like how early they are introduced and active, even Orochimaru only came up during the tuning exams. In 8, he's not finished and counterattacks. I like the tactic of making Asta skid. Magna brings up flame beating ice. I don't know if magic attribute advantages remain important. When Magna is about to quit, Asta gets back up. I'm noticing his catchphrase is not done yet. BC channels his inner hero for the next scene. Magna has an inner monologue about quitting along with a flashback, but Asta motivates him by stating his dream. The art and writing both step up to create an exciting scene. Magna is motivated, and this mini arc pulls another Chekhov's gun. Magna throws flames, and Asta reflects the ones that slip by. This reminds me of the Shadow Shuriken against Zabuza. Noelle being passive on the outside and extremely expressive on the inside reminds me of Inner Sakura. Asta says his catchphrase before landing the final blow. I'm beginning to see why I like this so much. There's a theme here. I didn't notice it because I was focusing on the character arcs. In chapter 7, Heath, the villain, told the knights to ditch the civilians to survive. That's the anti-theme. Quit. Magna tells Noelle to run. That's a smaller anti-theme moment, but Noelle refuses and fights back. Then Magna becomes his own anti-theme when he almost quits, but Asta doesn't quit, which inspires Magna to keep fighting, making Asta the theme rep. Then Asta and Magna win by using the last of their power. The theme is never give up again. Noelle starts admiring Asta in 9, and the red and black bird shows up, with Asta for the first time. This is Sakurai in the future. The bird gives Asta some special rock. The ops commit suicide to avoid interrogation. Already, this is grittier than Hero. The characters have already bled a lot during battle, and now this. And then crazy setups happen. At the base of the Midnight Eye, they tell us about magic stones. We hear about a resurrection, and we see the gold dawn symbol on one of the members. That's crazy if you know what happens in the elf arc. The resurrection is the elf reincarnation. The Golden Dawn member is actually the leader, secretly hosting an enemy. The gambling old man that started this and his grandson got good development. Asta tells the kid he can be a magic knight. It'd be cool if the story followed up on this in the future. This mini arc ending in the graveyard feels like the land of waves. I like this mini arc. 2 character arcs, epic moments, good art, great setup, and a theme. The villain wasn't good though, he was just evil. You may have noticed that I went into more details on the fights compared to Hero. That's because Black Clover has better fights, and I don't think the tides ever change. I also like how early BC starts taking advantage of fights compared to Naruto and Hero. Naruto's first real fight was either against the Demon Brothers in chapter 9, or against Zabuza in chapter 11, no 2001. It depends on if you count the brothers. I don't count Mizuki because it was a stomp. I don't count Kakashi because it wasn't even serious. In Hero, the first real fight was Deku vs Bakugo in chapter 8, but even that was a training exercise. If I don't count that, then 13 is when the villains attack. Black Clover started in chapter 6, and it wasn't an exercise. In chapter 10, stars are explained, and the Bulls are doing horrible in the Hogwarts race. While Vanessa takes Asta and Noelle to go shopping, Asta and Seike stop a thief. The former gives the latter words of encouragement. Maybe that's an arc. The old woman who was stolen from is the Wizard King in disguise. That's kinda clean. He looks like the Hokage Naruto though. Black Clover is doing a great job at these one chapter mini arcs. Black Clover started off stumbling compared to other great manga, but once Asta joined the Black Bulls, it found its footing. It executed more character arcs than Hero and probably Naruto. Its plot threw the characters into danger, rather than keeping them in the safety of school exercises. The character designs and personalities are also better, but Hero is winning in directing, emotional moments, themes, and art. So far, BC has had 2 themes, and they were the same. It's not as good as Hero yet, but that will change soon. But what's truly important is what you can learn from each story. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.